What's cracking, everybody? XehrFelrose here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle League content. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at one of the strongest Ultra League teams I have ever seen this season, run by my friend and patron member, B. Richley. That's how it's pronounced, if you're not aware. And he does stream on Twitch, so I'll leave a link to his Twitch stream channel in the description. Running a secret patron team that we've been running for the last 3 weeks. Figured, you know what, he hit the leaderboards, he hit legend with it, he submitted it for shoutcasting, and I felt inclined to share it. I've taken a couple of weeks off due to moving, so I really haven't played. Getting back into it now, so that's why you haven't seen any teams from me, but they're coming. I'm playing again. I'm on the way. 100 points from legend, we're going to get it. But let's take a look at these battles with B. Richley and his team with Sandslash and Giratina and the Jellicent. Now, you'll notice that the Jellicent is rocking... I'm sorry, is it a Medicham? Hello? That's a Lantern. Hello? Okay, that's an XL Lantern. Okay, I thought we were in the Great League for a minute. I was about to be very confused. You notice that the Jellicent is running Bubble. The reason it's running Bubble is because we like to have a better matchup against the Dark types that like to come in against it. Plus, you get a lot of extra farm ability against Charizard. Bubble doesn't give nearly as, or it doesn't give quite as much energy as Hex, but it does make up for it with a little bit of extra damage. Gives it that little extra oomph. But unfortunately, in matchups like this, you don't really get a whole lot of extra damage off against the water types that come in. So you have to be very careful with those. But the Sandslash is going to come in here, farm down the Lantern, but it's going to have to take a Surf anyway, even though it's an XL Lantern. Not going to hurt that bad. So Lantern is going to go down, and the Medicham is going to... Medicham had, okay, 1497, the Noctowl's XL. So this person has a Great League Medicham, and an XL Lantern and an XL Noctowl. You know, Spice Lords be here anyway. Trying to make a Great League team work in the Ultra League. Get out of here. Giratina says no. Giratina is running Dragon Breath on this team. Again, to help with the Dark Fighters, because if you run A/Double Ghost, you obviously you need to have something that can tangle with Scrafty and Obstagoon. That's why we have Bubble, Dragon Breath. We have Ancient Power for closing power with the Charizard. Jellicent is your safe swap on this team. And Giratina is typically going to be your closer after you've used Jellicent to lure out the anti-Ghost. And then Sandslash is just... It's Sandslash. In my opinion, Sandslash has become the #1 pick over the meta, at least from my perspective. It's just so freaking good. You can't deny the Sandslash. It's just that good. Now... Giratina's in the back just waiting to come in on this poor little Medicham. Medicham, however, has a power-up punch. Is it running Ice Punch? That's the question. Doesn't matter because we're getting to the Dragon Claw here. We're going to do some damage. I don't even know how much damage this does. How much damage does it do? Enough. Love the Spice, though. Well played, but unfortunately, even though the opponent had pretty good alignment there the entire time, if it had been any other fighter, it might have been a worse matchup. So getting on to the next game here. We got Sandslash to Alolan Muck. This is a great matchup for the Alolan Sandslash. The opponent counter swaps or safe swaps into a Poliwrath, and Jellicent comes in to counter swap it, completely hard walls Poliwrath. Even with the new Community Day update of counter, Poliwrath just does not hold any candles up to the Jellicent. So here's a little tip for anyone who's looking to push rank. When you get a matchup like this, right, you counter swap into an absolute dominating counter. Try to take advantage of the fact that you're taking almost no damage in this matchup, and see what B. Richley is doing is he's making sure that he over farms instead of just going straight for the Shadow Ball right when he gets it. That means that he can go into the next matchup with some energy to threaten the Alolan Muck, because even though it's a Dark type, those Surfs, you can get 2 Surfs off now. Had he thrown that Shadow Ball right away, he would have only been able to get 1 Surf off before the Muck got to that Dark Pulse. But now he's going to be able to threaten with the second Surf, forcing the opponent's Muck to throw instead of being able to farm down. And instead they're going to go for the Acid Spray, which means they have to now take 2 Surfs. If you're the opponent in the situation, you got to close off and go for the Dark Pulse, because now the opponent's going to have to shield, or they go to make a really nice catch on their Giratina Alter. Shadow Claw Giratina is going to come in, but unfortunately the Sandslash is just ready to just rip into this Giratina. And then you've got your own Giratina in the back for the Alolan Muck when it comes back in. And honestly, with 2 shields, that Giratina is just going to rip through the rest of this team. Now, Giratina with Dragon Breath is, again, if it's not the safe swap and you're not grabbing a Fairy with it, now obviously if you get locked against a Fairy, Giratina altered with Dragon Breath is kind of bad. But if you can avoid the Fairies with it, for the most part. Dragon Breath is just so oppressive and really strong. I have actually been frustrated when I was running, you know, some dark types, finding out that Dragon Breath Giratina can 2-shield through just about everything that doesn't resist the Dragon Breath. It's disgusting. So, really nice catch by the opponent, but unfortunately, it doesn't going to really make a difference here. B. Richley is going to let his Sandslash go down, taking that Dragon Claw, and another one because the opponent doesn't want him to get to the Ice Punch, but now he's at the Ice Punch at this point. He can just shield, go for the Ice Punch, and take out the opponent. That's going to be a good game. Ultra League games are kind of long, right? But if you manage your switch clock and you manage your switch advantages, your energy, you can make a lot of things happen because of the extra bulk. And even though it's a longer game, it kind of allows you to, that's the thing I like about Ultra League. That's why it's my favorite league, is because it actually allows you to kind of start to formulate win conditions with a longer game, because you're not stuck in this, you know, RPS, you know, you only have, you know, the matchup doesn't take nearly as long as a switch clock, so you have an opportunity to make things happen. Now, this matchup sucks, and you can't swap out of it because you're running Giratina. Now, if you were running something else that's not the Giratina, right, something that maybe isn't weak to Wall Rain, you could certainly make that work. But going to catch a move on the Jellicent, an amazing catch here. Does it the Earthquake? No, it's a bait. It's an Icicle Spear bait. Unfortunate waste of energy by the opponent there. They get nothing for that. And now they're going to go for the Earthquake, but we're not going to shield the Earthquake. Earthquake is going to go through. Channeling my inner Shreddy there. I miss Shreddy, man. I hope he's doing well. If you know, you know, but I hope he's doing well and he comes back at some point. Anyway, taking out the Wall Rain with the Jellicent. The opponent's got a Swampert in the back, able to get to this Shadow Ball, again, due to excellent energy management. And these are just above 3,000 ELO, ladies and gentlemen. So it's not like we're talking about, like, highest echelon level play of, like, the 3,500 ELOs where, like, the number 1 through 10 people are right now. But this is, you know, just past legend sort of play. So these are some amazing plays that we can learn from, and even myself, I could learn from these because I've been a washed player lately. But that's all right. So the opponent's going to go for Hydro Cannon. I guess they were baiting, trying to get the shield. I'm not sure why you don't just go for the Earthquake there, to be honest. But Dragon Claw's going to come through, get a shield, the final shield, and even if this is an Earthquake, this doesn't even come close to taking out the Giratina. It's just, they're just going straight Hydro Cannon. Why? Why? Do you run? They must be running Sludge Wave, I would have to think, because that's crazy. Opponent comes in with a Poliwrath. This is super, super scary for a Giratina with HP this low. Hopefully the Giratina can get it low enough that the Aslash with a shield can take this thing out. CMP tie, gotta go for that Dragon Claw that just got banked up. Opponent's gonna go for the Ice Punch, and with this Dragon Claw, well, the opponent does have to throw energy, but this Dragon Claw, though, hopefully will get the Poliwrath low enough at the point where Aslash can take it out. Do we see a catch, perhaps? Nope, not going to catch, but look how low. It's so low. Unless they're at a Scald, even then a Scald wouldn't KO the Aslash from here. Going to be able to take it out with Shadow Claws, despite taking double super effective damage. The opponent decides they're just going to concede, and I moved my mouse by accident. So here we go into the next game. We've got a Charizard lead. This does not look bad at all. Charizard does have the ability to one-shot the Alolan Sandslash with a Blast Burn. However, almost every time they always bait first. So you could usually count on it. But sometimes the opponents just go straight Blast Burn, and that's what makes it such a harsh mind game. B. Richley is going to shield up a Blast Burn. That's a great shield there. And going to try to catch the next one on the Jellicent. Oh no. A Virizion comes in to counter swap against the Jellicent. And because Virizion has complete control over this matchup because Jellicent's running Bubble, that means that they could easily load up on extra energy to deal with the Sandslash. Now the question is, are they running... Yeah, they're running Leaf Blade. Those are the other questions. Are they running Stone Edge? But they're not. We're running Leaf Blade. So this is unfortunately going to be a very hard counter sort of situation. Leaf Blade is going to get the Virizion, or going to get the Jellicent extremely low, but not before it's able to get off on the last second. Shadow Ball... closely taking out, taking it low, I was going to say. But we come in with the Giratina here to soak the energy from the Virizion. Because it's running Leaf Blade, this is going to do nothing. And then we're going to see probably the Charizard come back in with loaded energy. Yep, there's the Charizard right before it goes down. Probably going to throw a couple of Dragon Claws out just to make sure that it chips the Giratina here. And then a Swampert's going to come in, and it's a Shadow Swampert at that. So opponent's going straight for Hydro Cannon here. Interesting play. I think again, I don't know why. Maybe it's because the damage is enough, but I would still be going and trying to at least get to the Earthquake first. I would like to. I mean, maybe that's just me being bad. I don't know. Maybe there's a real reason that players are going straight Hydro Cannon against Giratina. Whatever that reason is, I don't know. But Dragon Claw number 2 is going to come out. Opponent has only shielded once, and they're saving that shield for the A-Slash. The A-Slash here is going to be able to come in and hope maybe they can farm down or get to 2 moves. I think with 1 shield, I think you call this Hydro Cannon here. He calls the Hydro Cannon. It's only a Hydro Cannon. Charizard's going to come in and is now going to have to... Ooh, this is going to be a close one. Does B. Richley get to a 3rd Ice Punch to take these Pokemon out? Going to go straight for it. Use the shield, get the farm down, throw the move into the Swampert. It's like I wrote the script myself. Well played. Does he get to it? No, they don't get to the Dragon Claw. Going to be able to throw, and the opponent decides to quit and concede. Well played. God, that was a close game. Next one, we've got a G-Fisk in the lead. This is a pretty good thing to see because I'm pretty sure that A-Slash wins this straight drill run, but I could be wrong unless the opponent baits twice successfully. If the opponent goes for an Earthquake at any point, I think they lose this matchup. But anyway, at some point, we might see a swap into Jellicent here. The Giratina matchup isn't terrible once we've done some chip damage. Opponent goes for a Rock Slide bait, naturally. Going straight for the drill run here. Thankfully, the opponent didn't catch. They're staying in. They may be core broken by this G-Fisk. They are double shielding the G-Fisk. Now B. Richley decides to take the shield advantage and swap out. And you're going to get to the Shadow Ball against this Venusaur before they're able to get to a charge move, which is kind of nice. You're going to be able to get a lot of damage off of this thing, about half. And then they're going to go straight for a Frenzy Plant here. I don't think this KOs, so they shouldn't just be able to farm it all the way down now. Yeah, they should be able to get a nice farm down here on the Jellicent. About 4 more, so they're going to be 1 away from a Frenzy Plant. So I would imagine we see the A-Slash come back in here and go just take it out with an Ice Punch. And then maybe you see an Overfarm now because the opponent's throwing immediately. You might see an Overfarm here in order to have a little bit of energy for that G-Fisk when it comes back in. A beautiful Overfarm, but loses CMP. Venusaur is deceptively high attack powered. You're going to see it winning a lot of CMPs, but the unfortunate thing here is that all that energy now goes to waste. So we're going to have to bank on the 0 shield Giratina winning this game, or having just enough little extra energy, going for that Rock Slide, trying to take out the snipe the Sandslash. But unfortunately, Giratina has nothing but resisted damage here, so this is going to be a very difficult matchup. Wonder what's in the back. Could be a Virizion, I think, if I had to guess, just based on the fact. No, it's a Cresselia. Oh, that is rough, man. Yeah, they were definitely core broken in the back. Yeah, very unfortunate. Just alignment. You know, you play out as much as you can. You think a shield advantage is good, but that Venusaur in the back was brutal. Now, I think that going for the CMP tie, I think there was the crucial mistake. So unfortunately for B. Richley, I think that was the nail in the coffin. I think if he had not gone for it, maybe a farm down, a straight farm down, or throwing 1 before to at least save that final shield, might have been in a better position. But Moonblast is going to take out the Giratina, and Sandslash is going to come in. Now, if the Sandslash... Wait a minute. Oh, no. He had to throw 1 more. I think he'd thrown the drill run, and because the opponent had thrown the Earthquake, might have been able to get to a move beforehand. But close game, well played. In the next game, we've got a mirror lead in Alolan Sandslash, and the opponent is staying in, and then they're going to swap out. So because there's a slight energy advantage here, you can go for quite a few Shadow Claws and then go for this drill run, and then swap into the Jellicent potentially to be able to wall the energy off of this Tapu Fini. But unfortunately, the opponent is going to go and swap out. We're staying in here for some reason. I'm not sure why. Drill run's going to fly off. Nope, I'm going to go for the Ice Punch bait here. Interesting call. I don't know if the opponent... Yeah, the opponent doesn't need to shield that. And we're double shielding the Surf. Okay, I have no idea what's going on in this game. This is all... You know what? He's a higher reload than me, so he knows what he's doing. Not me. I mean that genuinely. Oh, there's a Shadow Charizard in the back. He's got 2 drill runs loaded. Get both shields off of this thing, and you're chilling. Oh, and they don't even shield because they know they don't have to. Going for the Ice Punch, we win CMP. I don't know the IVs on these Pokemon. Unfortunately, when I'm given a Shoutcast, I'm only able to display the IVs if the person submitting the battles gives them to me, which I didn't get them from B. Richley at this point. But all he has to do is come in with that Giratina. Opponent's going to come in with their Charizard here, and I mean, honestly, just do as much damage as you can with the Giratina, and then just flex with the Jellicent. Their opponent's going to quit now. They got Bubble Jellicent. This is just... you got nothing. There's nothing you can do. As soon as they saw the bubble, they quit. There it is. Well played. Good game. Goodness. Bubble Jellicent does have its ways. Like I said, you can absolutely just shred a Charizard with it. So we do 2. Now notice how that the a little lesson here. Notice how the HP is chunked off of Sandslash. So inconsistently, the mechanic is the damage will register the turn before. But here's the thing. What happened here was the switch takes a turn, so the damage is applied when when the swap happens. At least this is how I understand the mechanic. If I'm wrong, someone can absolutely, tell me in the comments why I'm a fool. But you in that situation, unless you have a 3-turn move, on turn 4, if you swap, you're going to take that damage. So if you have a 2-turn move, you only want to go for 1 Shadow Claw and then swap. Or if you have a 3-turn move, you go for 1 3-turn move and swap. If you have a 1-turn move, you go 1 2 3 swap. That's how those work. So the opponent is fighting for switch here. Absolutely not wanting to give it up, but that Shadow Ball was going to be enough to get that Cresselia down into farm range. And I think with a little bit of energy, Future Sight does not take out this Jellicent, leaving both Pokemon with like 1 HP each. And then Giratina is going to come in, an absolute wall to Talonflame, and it's got Ancient Power just to make things nasty. But the Brave Bird's going to come through and do about half of the HP's worth of damage to that Giratina before the Sandslash comes in to counter the Trevenant that just came in place of the Talonflame. Now, Ice Punch is definitely going to hurt here. This does so much damage. The Shadow Claw goes through. You no shield at this point. Yeah, you just leave the shield for the Giratina, and you just take out the Trevenant with the Giratina, and then come in. They come in with their Talonflame, and they don't. They didn't. They just quit. Oh, well played. All right, another Shadow Walrein lead. So again, probably going to see Richly stay in here. Practicing that consistency, sees the same lead, plays it the same way each time. We'll probably see this play out, and then eventually maybe even a catch under the Jellicent at some point. So first Drill Run's going to go through. The Shadow Walrein does not appreciate it, but we're going to catch the Earthquake immediately, or what would be an Earthquake, I should say. Opponent goes for the Icicle Spear. I love this catch. When I was playing this team, I would do that very often, and it would almost always be an Icicle Spear catch, and it just felt like such a fun waste of the opponent's energy, because they're just going straight Icicle Spear. They don't even care. Like, go Earthquake at some point. They just go for it. I have those games too. I've actually had a couple, in recent memory that I've lost just because I decided to try and bait the opponent, no shields the bait, and I'm like, why didn't I just go for it? So just go for it. They're still going Icicle Spear. I have not seen a single Earthquake off this Walrein yet. They're just trying to play the mind games and say, oh, eventually they're going to shield. They're going to play the odds. Eventually they're going to shield. But in order to do that, now they've shielded all of their, they've gotten rid of all their shields. Now at this point, you just let it go. There's no reason. And they're still going Icicle Spear. Trainer, stop it. Stop using Icicle Spear, Trainer. You need to stop this madness. You need to throw the Earthquake, Trainer. Now that is going to go down. The Charizard's going to come in here, and we're going to see Pain. No, this is where having Ancient Power definitely comes in handy. Unfortunately, the Charizard has a lot of HP, or a lot of energy, I should say. It's got a lot of HP too, but it's got a lot of energy, and you can easily just shield the Blast Burn here. I'm not entirely sure. Oh my god, they baited. Goodness. And then they come in with a Toxicroak, and then the Toxicroak is going to take super effective damage from this Drill Run. That is going to hurt a lot. Drill Run almost takes out the Toxicroak. The Giratina comes in, the opponent's like, nah, you know what? I got nothing. Even though they have Ancient Power, all they had to do was throw a Dragon Claw, and that was it. Oh, dude. I'm sorry. Is this the Holiday Cup again? Are we back? I loved Holiday Cup. Please bring it back. Until Regice was everywhere and everybody knew my secret. But anyway, this is a really great lead for Sandslash, and the opponent is definitely core broken by this Kyurem. This is why they're not swapping out. You don't need to shield a single thing here. Glaciate is double resisted, Dragon Claw's resisted, and this is just an easy win. Now, I would still be going for the Drill Run in neutral situations. Drill Run and Ice Punch. Drill Run does slightly more damage than the Ice Punch. Interesting that the opponent has decided to shield like this, though. I'm wondering if they're just trying to get rid of this Sandslash, because this matchup is kind of close. There it is. That's why they wanted to get rid of it. Guzzlord hits the field and absolutely hard walls this poor Jellicent. Sandslash is going to need a hope, prayer, and a miracle in order to finish this thing off, because it's going to be able to abuse this Jellicent for so much energy. Crunch is going to come through, and no debuff, but it doesn't matter. The Dragon Tails and the Crunches are going to add up all by themselves. Now, thankfully, there's still 2 shields, but this is easily just a farm down situation. Now, able to get to the Surf here before the opponent is able to take him out with the Dragon Tails. Surf is going to put it down into a range where Giratina can come in. Dragon Breath down. Now, do you shield? I don't know if... I think you... I mean, I don't know. I feel like you have to shield that. You definitely shield the second one. I think you no-shield the first one because you, in case there's a debuff, you don't want to shield twice. Because you still don't know what that third Pokemon is in the back. The opponent knows your whole team. Kyurem is going to come in. You have to shield this in order to not get KO'd. The Sandslash has so little HP left, it's honestly laughable. But with a debuff, let's see. In comes a Buzzwole. You have been blessed with an absolutely dominating matchup, but unfortunately, Giratina has so little HP that the only way that you're going to be able to take this thing out is a boost or a catch. And the opponent doesn't fall for it. They just keep farming. They expected the catch, and they had showed great patience in waiting for that, and that is going to be a good game. Well played. Opponent played that absolutely marvelously, throwing 2 moves. Unfortunately, Giratina is still going to be debuffed here. Doesn't matter. Not going to be enough damage. You're going to need 2 of those Dragon Claws, and they're not going to get to him, so that's going to be a good game here. Well played. Lunge takes out Giratina. That's it. All right, everybody, we're getting into this last game here, I believe, and an Ampharos is on the lead. Now, the way I like to play this out, because you can't swap. The opponent just swaps for you. That's fine. Now you can align your Giratina to it, but the way that I usually play those out is I'm going to go, I think you can go straight Drill Run. I'm trying to remember how I play those out. You can go straight Drill Run in that matchup and either force both shields before they get, I think, both shields. Man, it's been so long since I played that matchup. I'm not going to talk anymore. Y'all, I'm going to confuse y'all. But going for Ice Punch here against the Jellicent, now that the HP has been so low, the opponent's probably just glad to be able to get the Ampharos off of this thing, but not going to be able to survive, or the Jellicent is able to survive, not going to be able to take it out before it gets from the charge move, unfortunately. And then here comes the Ampharos. You can easily get to this Drill Run here. Even going for an Ice Punch bait is fine. As long as you're 1 away from the next Ice Punch, you get there before they get to another one. They have to shield this because they have to respect the Drill Run. The opponent swaps into a Poliwrath. And in comes Jellicent because now it gets to avoid the Ampharos. And once again, you're probably going to see B-Richly overfarm a bunch on energy in order to make sure that he's got energy to deal with the Ampharos. If you save a shield for the Ampharos, you can easily manipulate the energy. Right? You can usually save the energy and come out with probably a Surf loaded when this Poliwrath goes down. And then hopefully you don't take too many Scald debuffs. This extra energy will allow those Surfs to go through and put a lot of pressure on that Ampharos. And you see how much energy is going up to you. Honestly, probably could have gone for another 2 more bubbles before letting loose this Shadow Ball. Now, not quite going to be able to get to the move, but Surf, he's gonna go for a farm up and just let it go. I don't mind this. Probably would have liked to see a Surf go off a little bit sooner, though, as soon as we got to it. But that's all right. You can easily survive any 1 or 2, I think, Brutal Swing. I think you can survive 2 Brutal Swings from this thing. Yeah, you can easily survive 2, but after that, you have to shield. So going for the Dragon Claw now, knowing that we're close enough to 2 Dragon Claws and be able to take this thing out in the next fast move. So we're going to have to shield this one up. If the opponent's got 2 Brutal Swings, that's going to be pretty brutal. Huh. But, yep, there it is. But you do survive it based off the HP that was lost from the last one. We know that we survived this. CMP tie, I think. Yep, that's going to be it. Well played, both trainers. This was a really awesome Legend and leaderboard run from this team. Again, that was in the Patreon group that we came up with. We did alter the team that you saw a couple weeks ago from a Mind Joke who played the same core but with Golisopod in the back. But, I mean, look, I'd take a 100-point gain on any day. I'd love it right now so I could hit Legend, right? Get it over with. But anyway, I should have a link to the Patreon in the below. You can join the group if you're interested, get all the early access and stuff. You know, coaching, yada yada, etc. You guys have heard it in every video. You already know it's there. So, but if you're interested, all that stuff is in the description and pinned comment if you want to check out how to support the channel. And we're going to see you guys in the next one. And again, if you want to submit some battles to the channel for shoutcasting, there's a link down below as well for that. So thank you all and have a good one. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.